Filling the gap in life is a common quest for anyone, certainly, that is creative, anyone who wants more for their life, anyone who had a dream, experienced something, and then really felt like, oh, I want more of that.
Do you want to do what you love at a higher level?
We're going to find your voice.
And you will see the difference.
I'm with my fave of all time.
Has completely changed my life. Lorraine is so awesome.
Lorraine is so amazing.
And Lorraine's got an incredible vocal coach.
Lorraine Lawson.
Lorraine Lawson.
Lorraine Lawson.
Lorraine Lawson.
Intimate feeling that you are not alone. We're all on the same road. That, filling the gap in life is a common quest for anyone, certainly, that is creative, anyone who wants more for their life, anyone who had a dream, experienced something, and then really felt like, oh, I want more of that. And if you watched our IG live yesterday, it was really powerful, right? It's like that sentence should lead us to the next thing and the next thing in our career. If the path was linear, we would all have already achieved success. We've probably heard many people share this, certainly I have, that it has never been easier than right now to do what you love. It has never been easier for you to find your ideal audience. It has never been easier for you to write the songs that you've always wanted to, find the right people to collaborate with, and actually put it out in the world. There are no gatekeepers, but there's a cost. The cost is that you probably aren't going to have a #1 hit. There is no radio driving it, so you might not be able to get a Grammy nomination if that's what you grew up wanting, that goal. You might have to adjust it. But I think you would agree that the benefit to what has happened in the last 5 years allows you the opportunity to do what you love at the highest level and be able to find your audience to do it. I have evidence that this is true because I have a number of artists who I've coached over the last 20 years, including Nate Ferraro, Bulo. I can go really far back into my career. Roy Woods, I've coached for over 9 years. Neon Dreams. They have gone after exactly what they want. And they've been able to pivot along the way to capture their best skill, whether it's songwriting, whether it's producing, whether it's as an artist, touring, whatever that thing was that they knew the more was in their head, they wanted more of it. They've been able to go after it. More recently, Chris Gray is probably my greatest success story. He has created an industry for himself, over almost 6 million monthly listeners, driving his own income when he's producing his own music, owning that music. So no gatekeeper saying yes or no. No one's saying this is good, this is bad, but actually saying these are the songs that I want to make. I know who I am, and I'm going to be able to double down on that and actually fill the gap. So let's just hear, before I dive into real coaching about this, I want to hear from you and everyone in the room. What is missing? Why are you here? Maybe introduce yourself real quick. I know we have people in person and online, but it's like a really great opportunity to sort of build this great community of artists so we know each other's stories. So let me start with Amy. Why are you here, Amy?
Hi, I'm here to just kind of discover the artist world and learn. I'm just kind of building a foundation right now and hopefully take off someday.
Amen. Yeah, amen for wanting to build a foundation. Again, that word more, I want more, can get the creative person in trouble because I don't build the foundation. I go for what I want and I end up working with all the wrong people, spending way more money than I actually have. But the dream was so real and I really want it. But I think that foundation, Amy, is so smart. Bukola, why are you here? First of all, I think you have to just say, how many times have you taken ADI?
So many times, but I feel like I learn something new every time. My name is Bukola. I make handcrafted R&B for the Antisocial Butterfly, and I'm from Vancouver. And I'm here to, like Amy said, build a foundation and to, I don't know, I think there's always things that you can learn about yourself and ways to distinguish yourself amongst other people. I think that starts with really knowing yourself and who you are and your unique service offering, I guess, or positioning. And I feel like ADI really helps delve into what those are and how to set yourself apart from other people. So yeah, excited to
You
delve
just
into
did
that
it
even
so
more.
incredibly well. Thank you. Because I love when people have taken it multiple times and still peeling the onion is necessary as a creative, as an artist. Because again, the rules of the game keep changing. So if the rules are changing and you are changing, then now we have no foundation again. So where we really want to start reflecting more is that the who you are doesn't change. Other maybe high performance athlete coaches would call that state. Your state is something that you're able to create, like a Tony Robbins would call it a state. Does that make sense? Has anyone taken any of that work? So, but I'm calling it the who you are. If the who you are is foundational, again, like Amy said, nothing can shake it. Even if the industry is changing, you know who you are. Even when people say, go here and go there, you should do this, you should do that, your inner voice is clear. Yes and no. I love it. I don't love it. Your self-expression gets improved upon the more you take these kinds of programs. Because to me, I would call this low stakes coaching. Everyone here are the same. You might be at different levels, but you're all creative, you're all artists, you're all aspiring for something greater, something more. So we share that. So it's a safe place to share. Marty, why are you here?
Hi, everyone. Like I said, my name is Marty. I'm from Spain. I live in New York. I'm here at ADI, and I would love to get out of three things. I want to get more clear on who I am as an artist. I'm relatively new to the industry. I play a mix of folk and rock and roll, and I want to get more clear on who I am as an artist and what my taste is like. I think my taste has been a little over the place in the music that I create, and I would like to get a little more clear on what is the true music that I really want to put out,
Okay.
and who is that audience for? Who's that music for?
Right.
So
So
not
I'm gonna
sound all over.
Yeah, I love it. So I'm going to address a couple of things around what you just said, because I, again, have evidence in people that I've coached, like an 𝐿𝐁𝐸. If anyone has been following this Canadian artist who really had a massive career as a songwriter, really was struggling last year with who am I as an artist, and was being told by the various gatekeepers, we'll keep using that as the phrase, that she had to choose a genre. I don't believe that you need to choose a genre, but you do need to choose what the songs are about. And so maybe within ADI, as we are going through each week together, we can craft sentences that help express what you do in 1 or 2 sentences maximum, so that people, when you are speaking to them, when you are in a room of people, come in, when you are able to interact with collaborators, you're really clear that the music is about, like, those people who are here who are in our mentorship program, like, we drill this, this is like an athlete. Again, you are high performance, extraordinary people that need some coaching around how to express what you do, because no one can read your mind. No one actually knows what you want unless you say it. Right? So, but no, I've had this since I was a kid. Well, so has everyone else. I want to inspire the world. Well, so has everyone else. I want to touch everyone with my story. I believe that my music is going to have impact on others. And that, again, everyone feels that way. So we have to have more specificity in the words that we're using that, again, are identifying who you are, Marty. So through the next 4 classes, you're going to gain enormous amount of clarity in that. And I love that. 𝐿𝐁𝐸, just as a story, was we had a coaching session in the fall where she shared all of this. I then was able to share with her that 20 years ago I sang background vocals for her when she was signed to Sony Music. And at the time, she wasn't allowed to be Southeast Asian. She had to hide and pretend that she was Black. Well, that didn't feel very good, and that was pretty inauthentic, don't you think? And so the audience, of course, liked a few of her songs, and that was great, but she struggled internally because she was not being authentic to who she was. And so she left that. She was like, fuck that. That's no fun. But I love writing songs, and obviously had a massive career writing for Nelly Furtado and rooms for Nicki Minaj, and the list goes on and on. And so she just followed me on social media, and some of you are here because maybe you follow me on social media, and or maybe you follow Trevor or someone that's in my world that might have recommended this to you. And just the same, she liked what I was saying, and she was like, "Can we have a call?" And I asked her many questions, but the one question that really did hit home for her was, is being Indian important to you? Because unless you choose it, you cannot assume that your nationality, your skin color, your ethnic origin, your sexuality is actually defining you at all. Because most of those things you can't choose. So my definition of authenticity is this: when the thoughts in your head, the feelings in your heart, and the words that come out of your mouth, how you express yourself, are exactly the same. And most of you are able to express yourself in a song, but then in your mind, you're apologetic about it. And you're wondering, I need validation to support. Like, you think it's amazing as you're creating it. And then the gap is when you start to share it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, can you even get to that point where you're in the room and you're very comfortable with who you're writing with, or you've never met anyone, you're meeting them for the first time? That's who you are. When you are so in your own skin, comfortable with the thoughts in your head. Some people are delusional, I'm going to call it. So the words out of their mouth are, I'm amazing, I'm amazing. But in their head, they feel like they're shit. By the way, the reverse is true. I have been in this studio in Noble and many studios as a vocal producer where some artists are so self-deprecating, it's really annoying. It's like, oh, no, that isn't good. But meanwhile, in their head, they're like, I'm fucking amazing. And I've seen the complete opposite. I don't know if you've ever experienced that, but I, as a coach, have experienced what you guys probably have never even thought of, but it's true. It's like, oh, no, I think I can do that better. I think I can do that better. But the whole time they're amazed. And I'll give you an example of that. And this is a good friend of mine that I've known a long time, and it's actually really affected his career. Two people. One is a guy named Chris Rouse, who by far has taught me more about vocal arranging than anyone in my high school years, early 20s. And he just couldn't get his shit. He was so amazing, but he was so self-deprecating. Everyone who was around him had to constantly stroke him, like constantly. Have you ever been around those people where you just have to, that was amazing, you're phenomenal. And he would always be late. Sometimes he would forget about things, honestly. So this huge producer, his name is Peter Cardinelli, hired us 3 times and locked us in a hotel room. That's the only way that you could get Chris Rouse to show up. And like, you're hired, man, for 3 days. We are making background vocals for this person's record. So we did that 3 times, but here, Michigan, and somewhere up north. But it was like, that's how he was. Because if you didn't lock him down, his mind would race and he would be over there. Like a true creative, really scattered. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that same self-deprecation, a really good friend of mine wrote the musical Flashdance. Robbie Roth is his name. He also played with Robbie Robertson in the band. So we're talking exceptional musicianship, really killer songwriter, so self-deprecating. It's exhausting to be in the room with someone who's inauthentic. Do you guys feel what I'm saying? Some of you are in some gap between I'm amazing and I suck. And when that thing is like incongruent, like some days yes and some days no, it's exhausting to be around you. Isn't it so cool to be around people who just like what they do, like themselves, believe in what they're doing? Yo, that's good. How about people who self-police? You know what? I could do that better. And they're not saying that after every take. They're saying it when legitimately you could do that better. Ooh, I just heard something was a little bit off. Let's get that again. That's called self-police. That's not self-deprecation. Does that make sense? So we want to be the spark in the room.
And I already saw such an improvement, but overall, I feel like she just offers us like the actual structure on how to make it into the music industry. So that's I'm here to grow as an artist, as a person, as a brand, everything. So
I do want to just, I'm not going to say correct, but I actually am not the one who's telling you how at all. You are. And that's the kind of coach that I started out as a vocal coach. First of all, I didn't even want to be a vocal coach. Can I just share a quick story before I get to everybody else? I was an artist, right? I was an artist from 16 to 26, hardcore. And then from 26 to 30, really struggled with it. Like in the early 20s, I was kind of rocking a little bit. And people thought I was like the next everything. And I was flown there and making records there. And I was so doing the how, like just showing up and just following, the sentence that, what is meant to be will be. Go with the flow, go where it's, I was just like, tell me what to do. I'll do it. And I think I made a country record and a pop record, a million pop records. And anyways, so I learned really quickly that as some producers who got to know me in those sessions that I was just sharing earlier with, they would ask me to produce the vocals. So that's how I kind of started as a vocal coach. It wasn't really to be a vocal coach. It was really a vocal producer. And then I started working with CP Records, which became XO, and honestly recorded maybe 200 songs with that whole team, Belly, Tehila, who are behind Blinding Lights and the whole kit and caboodle. And so, just had a lot of experience crafting really unique vocal performances, and then working with Gavin Brown or Sean Frank, like some of the best, Ian Kirkpatrick I've worked with Busby, who unfortunately passed away. So I've gotten to be beside some of the best, like a Nate. I've been able to sit beside and worked so closely to craft really unique vocal performances. So I learned really quickly in my own experience, and then the artists and producers that I was helping, that the ability was not enough. Being the best singer was not enough. You needed an identifiable, recognizable voice that people like. And that's the game. It's like, how do I find that? That's hard. Well, I've come up with a lot of cool ways to figure that out. I think I'm really good at it. And then performance coaching, sort of the same. We've all watched great performers, but they're not memorable. Maybe they can dance and their legs go up to here, but there's nothing that's really connecting them. So that's super important to me, that I am going to provide, hopefully tonight and over the next 4 classes, a lot of tools, a lot of ideas, a lot of challenging questions. But in the end, you are choosing. And anyone who tells you, especially in 2025, but at any time in this industry, do this now, then do this, then do that. A, B, C is going to equal D. It just doesn't. This is an artistic expression. It is completely subjective. We are not brain surgeons. No one is going to die if you do it or you don't. That's the reality. And this is also a supply and demand issue in terms of a business model. There is too much supply. There is zero demand. So your opportunity here, the only game, the only chess move to play is for you to be authentic. That's it. There's no more, here's $1 million, we can create a star. And even then, I would argue, because I was behind a lot of those sessions, again, especially with CP Records. Does anyone know who I'm talking about, CP Records? That there was a lot of money in that camp trying to create stars. And unless the audience digs it, they don't dig it. I don't care. You can put $3 million behind somebody. The audience has always been the measure and the metric. So we just need to get in front of their face a little bit more. We just have to make ourselves more known, or, more findable. That's all. And if you know who you are, you can do that more authentically than the person who's chasing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Tom, hello. Welcome.
Hello. Happy to be here. And Lorraine, thank you for doing this for artists in an industry that just seems impossible at times. So I'm here for a lot of perspective. I know there's no one way to do this. Every artist journey is so different. So I'm looking forward to hear what's worked for some people. And I'm also in a very experimental stage in my artistry where I'm doing a lot of different things, which is great, but also it has me feeling like, am I doing too much? Am I doing too? So like perspective and direction are two of the big things I'm kind of looking for in this. So I feel like there's no better place than ADI.
I agree. There's no better place than ADI. Got to capture that. We're going to snip that out, Tom. We're going to snip that out and use it for the next time I run this program. I think, John, I think there's examples of artists who are stretching the way that you're stretching. And a John Bellion, you should really find a lot of inspiration by, like no rules at all, just going, just like woo woo, Pharrell Williams, just shooting like a million darts all over the place, but I do believe that the who they are is the center of it all, and that allows them that self-expression. So the fact that they're just being so fucking authentic through it, or fearless, whatever word you want to say, I think people are just catching on to what they've got going on. Gianni, in the dark, you are in the dark.
I'm in the dark.
You're a little bit moody, but I like it. It's nice. It's like mood lighting. I feel like you've curated your lighting so beautifully.
I'll work on it
See,
for next time.
like you see, it's like no, it's like a little planned. It's very it's very cinematic. No, it's like you're doing an actor audition. I love it. Okay,
Yeah, I tried with the plant.
why are you here?
I feel like I'm sort of at a beginning in a way of my music, even though I've been like a gigging musician for 15 years. I was mainly a drummer, played with various people, and had my own band where I wrote the songs. And we got signed by Warner. We made a record, and then around COVID, for various reasons, it sort of slowed down. And now the band's on a bit of a hiatus. But I kept on writing songs just because I felt drawn to it.
I wish that there was. I would have been famous. Fuck. I would have been famous already. No. You know, because again, I had all the check. So what was missing? Well, the who I was all over the place. The who I was missing. So I'm coaching you guys tonight in the who you are. I would like to invite our guest, and maybe Brody, can I steal your chair real quick just to kind of squeeze this in and get Yash in here for a few minutes. So excited to have Yash here, who is a major producer, songwriter. He's gonna, you can, perfect. Amazing. Okay. And Yash and I only just met.
Hello, everybody.
I love
the virtual world.
In the virtual world and the people in person. We have many people behind the scenes that we probably should have known each other.
Yes.
But we just didn't. I don't know. That happens in the music industry.
We get busy.
We get busy
Yeah.
and focused. But it's so great to have you here. So our conversation when we met was kind of a deep dive of what you're looking for. Well, first of all, tell us a little bit about you.
Okay.
And you have a quick rundown. No, we want everyone gave us a quick rundown. Yeah, do that first, and then I want to ask you a question.
My name is Yash. I am a producer and a songwriter and multi-instrumentalist. I've done music basically since I can remember myself, you know, as a little kid. I went to Berkeley for classical composition and jazz. I played jazz my whole life. And at some point when I got to be a big boy, I realized that I need to make money. So I pivoted into, you know, creating pop music and other music that is commercial music. And I guess my path was very not that ordinary in terms of, like, usually people would just link up with some other writers and start doing sessions and stuff like that. I never knew that this career, like this type of career, songwriting, producing, is a thing. Like, I know it's weird, but I never knew that people write as a career. I always came from the mindset of artist. That's all I was, an artist. But at some point, yeah, I just kind of like fell into I fell into the right crowd, and I started a DJ project, which was completely out of my realm and completely out of my kind of wheelhouse, I would say. But in doing that, that kind of blew up, I guess you can say. And I've toured the world with this DJ, and it's me and my friend, and we had many songs on the radio when EDM was like really blowing up. It's kind of like it was like the right place at the right time. And I'm actually really happy, and from that, because EDM at that time wasn't only electronic music, it went into the mainstream. It was very mainstream. I got to be exposed to, oh my God, there's people who write for a living, who, oh, this is how you get a song on the radio, this is the money you can make, this is the life you can have. And it, of course, enticed me very much, and I kind of moved towards that. Once that the DJ thing kind of winded down, I went into that realm, and I'm not gonna name drop too much. And then lyrics. A lot of us, lyrics are the hardest thing for me, and I know that lyrics are the hardest thing for most people, whether they want to admit it or not. Being a lyricist is extremely hard. It's an amazing profession, but yeah, but you know what people don't like? They don't like sitting on their lyrics. I don't like sitting on my lyrics. It's hard. It's annoying. It's gut wrenching. You know what sitting on lyrics is? It's like, oh, I wrote something. It's good. It's good. So let's record it. But can I beat it? Can I do something better? And the artist says, oh fuck, I don't want to. We've been sitting 3 hours. Why would I try to do something better? This sounds good. No, always try to beat it. You can't beat it, then use the original thing. Why? Because with AI coming in and taking over the music industry and everything like that, the only thing that's going to be left is the human soul. Human soul, I'm telling you right now, whoever tells you that AI is going to copy you and be better than you in that one, it's going to be better than you in a lot of things. But in that one aspect, it's never going to be better than you, than a human being, in transferring feelings through words that connect to some cultural nuance. It's never going to be able to do that. Maybe in 50 years it's going to be able to do that. But I've been involved recently with many AI projects. Like, I'm a programmer myself. I know how to program, and I know how to work with AI very, very well. And from like I'm telling you right now, that's the one bastion that we're gonna that's the one place that humans are always gonna shine, because AI is not gonna have the cultural relevance, the nuance to that to that level where magic can happen, where songs can like shine. So lyrics. So to answer your question, lyrics and pull from different things that make it sound original. Don't pull from one thing. If you pull from one thing and you try to make something sound like something else, it's not going to work. 100% of the time, it's always going to be generic. So, yeah.
Yeah, identifiable vocal, just to for
Oh,
everybody.
yeah, and then
So that identifiable vocal, you have to know who you are to write those lyrics, to express yourself. And that's again why these programs are great, because most of what we do in our mentorship program or through these programs, as you can already hear, we're talking. So the talking, the self-expression, they're getting good at just articulating what's in your mind, what's on your heart.
Yeah.
And then that's where that authentic bridge can really happen.
Actually, can we talk about lyrics for
Yes.
one more second?
This could be forever, right? We could have- yeah.
I'll tell you guys why. Because producing that, I'm a good producer. I can make anything, pop, rock, country, and I'll make it sound authentic and great and amazing. But lyrics are so difficult to learn how to write. And what I said about studying your masters, that is just the most important thing is when it comes to lyrics. Read fucking books.
Yeah.
Read books.
Read.
Open a book. Watch movies. Experience life. Try to narrate your life as well. While you're walking down the street, try to narrate your life. I can say from Nate's example, sorry that I'm putting you on the spot, but Nate is an amazing lyricist. Amazing. Really, really. And I realized, I was just thinking, because he's here, I'm just giving him as an example. I was thinking, why is he such a good lyricist? Because he's intelligent. Every time I talk to him, I understand, he reads a lot. He thinks all the time. He thinks in the words. He narrates his life. I can make anything, pop, rock, country, and I'll make it sound authentic and great and amazing. But lyrics are so difficult to learn how to write. And what I said about studying your masters, that is just the most important thing is when it comes to lyrics. Read fucking books.
Yeah.
Read books.
Read.
Open a book. Watch movies. Experience life. Try to narrate your life as well. While you're walking down the street, try to narrate your life. I can say from Nate's example, sorry that I'm putting you on the spot, but Nate is an amazing lyricist. Amazing. Really, really. And I realized, I was just thinking, because he's here, I'm just giving him as an example. I was thinking, why is he such a good lyricist? Because he's intelligent. Every time I talk to him, I understand, he reads a lot. He thinks all the time. He thinks in the words. He narrates his life. He talks a lot. He narrates his life. And what that gives him, at the moment he opens the book to write the song, right? He already has a million little ideas, little phrases, little things that already sound good because he's tried them out in real life. So read books, poetry, watch movies for concepts. Movies are amazing, like resource of like concepts of feelings and how people, you know, all you're trying to do is to take one feeling or one idea and like, you know, and like focus it into a lyric that you can feel. Because like I've done this so many times that I've done these experiments where I'll get a killer melody. I'm really good at melodies. Like I can make the best melodies. Like that's my strength. Like I can close my eyes. I just know where the note needs to go, right? And then I've tried to write the same melodies with shit lyricists and with good lyricists, and the difference is just insane. Like it's night and day. Like all those songs that you guys know that you can hum, they're hits because of a lot of times because of the lyrics. Because the way a melody sounds with certain words is not the way it sounds with the correct words. There's only one correct set of lyrics that works, really. And it's kind of scary to say. There's literally only one correct set of lyrics. Like every other lyric would be subpar. Like it won't do it justice. And then there's there's a lyric that everything clicks. The melody, where it goes up, it goes down, what word you said when it went up, what word you said when it went down, and the feeling that you get from that, that's real songwriting. So it encompasses all of that.
Yes.
If there's a younger or more unknown, maybe inexperienced artist that wants to work with you, how would you want them to approach you?
I'm a very like down to earth kind of person. So look for me. You can hit me up on Instagram. You guys can, like, if it's you guys or anybody, like, you can hit up Lorraine and ask for my number. I always answer everybody. There's you know, different people in this industry. There are people who are a little bit more gatekeeping and stuff. But for me, I just believe that, you know, diamonds in the rough, you always find something. Like I like working with artists, so I expect people to hit me up. That's what I expect, because that's what I did. So I'm like, well, if you're scared to hit me up, then that means that you're not sure that you're good. Like, cause if you were sure that you would be good, it doesn't matter that I have a Juno and I fucking have a 𝐋𝐨𝐫𝐚𝐢𝐧𝐞'𝐬 or whatever. I worked with Dua Lipa. It doesn't matter. I'm just a dude, right? Yeah. So like if you're sure of yourself, then you just it's as simple as that. And a lot of people, like, you know, like fall when that situation comes up, because they, you know, they're like, oh, should I reach out to that guy? Is that a good look? I hate that when managers say, when A&Rs say that, oh, is that a good look? It's not a good look. It is a good look. It doesn't matter. Like, everybody has Instagram. Everybody's a person. You hit people up. You'd be surprised how many people answer you. Like, most people. So for me, just hit me up. Hello.
And having that 1 degree of separation, like now, you know, Yash, because you took a risk, because you said yes to this, now you have access to a really cool guy, because you're really cool.
Thank you. I love the studio, by the way. I've the last time I was here was like 7 years ago. I love recording drums here. It's an amazing studio. And yeah, and like Lorraine said, me and her have been in the same circles for, I guess, like years and years. And we've never linked up, and now we have. So that's cool.
And it won't be like, again, it was like talking the same language.
Exactly. And we were speaking, that we met up and we're like, oh my God, like we both think the same, and we have the same conclusions from our like years and years and years of working. So I thought it would be nice to come and kind of help out, give some advice if I have any advice to give you guys. And you know, you guys,
I'm sure they have a million questions, but let me start with this question. What is the right collaboration? When should people work with you? What are you looking for in the artist?
Honestly, it comes at different stages. Mostly I'm really looking for people who, first of all, and I know it's hard to say, but first of all, it's very, very important that your craft is at a certain level. And I'm sure if you guys are already here, I'm sure that your craft is already at a level where it's where it's something that you can shine in. And the reason is, producers are not magicians. Okay, we can't make stuff happen from nothing. It just doesn't happen. I know that, today there's autotune and this kind of technology and everything in AI and whatever you want. But at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're trying to get out like something that's inside us. Okay, we're trying to show our character in the music we make, in our voice, and the only way to do that, and this goes, is to develop our actual skills, our singing skills, our studio skills, extremely important. Like I get a lot of people that come, and they can afford to come. They have all the backing and everything, but the studio session is bland and difficult. And the reason is their technique is not there. Their level of professionality is not there, so they can't express themselves. Does not mean that everybody I meet is talented. Everybody I meet is talented. I almost don't meet people that, people don't come to me that are kind of like amateur. However, a lot of people come to me that are like extremely talented and extremely untrained. So that's, I would say, the first thing when you come to a producer who's like, I would say, a high level producer. I know, like, it's to say about myself, but yes, when you come,
It's okay.
yeah,
We're with you.
yeah, when you come to such a session, it's extremely important for you to know that you can hit the note, you can make the change, you can you can follow up. Your writing skills are there, because like if you have a beautiful voice and you can soar above the clouds, but your lyrics are shit, it's not really it's not gonna gel. A song is a good song, a hit, what you guys would call a hit, is that combination. It's the combination of how well have I been able to deliver the feeling I want to deliver through the lyrics, how special they are, and my voice. How well can I use my voice? Doesn't mean that you have to be Celine Dion. It can mean you can have your own very, very unique voice that might be fringe, but and I would, yeah.
Even Fleetwood Mac, I was going to say, there's some elements there.
There's some elements.
So again, listening, letting it influence you,
Yeah,
it's huge.
it's very important. Also, like just the younger like I would say the younger generation today, people who are growing up in the music business today, I think a lot of people like aren't educated enough on the past, and it works for the best as well, because like a lot of people get away with covers that people think that are original songs, but they're not, right? And then you discover, holy shit, wow, that was a song before, because everything has been done, really, in a
1,
sense.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry.
Yeah. So like everything has been done already. So you pull from that, you pull from what was done, and you differentiate yourself a little bit, and you build from that. I think that's
Yeah,
very,
and that's getting back to what we're doing tonight, is to know who you are, because then you can take all that information and put it into you. Let's take 1 or 2 questions, and then we're going to move on to our class. Oh my God, see, you could talk forever, and we could really do this again.
Yes.
Like, this is incredible. Okay. Question for Yash?
I have one.
Yes.
If there's a younger or more unknown, maybe inexperienced artist that wants to work with you, how would you want them to approach you?
I'm a very like down to earth kind of person. So look for me. You can hit me up on Instagram. You guys can, like, if it's you guys or anybody, like, you can hit up Lorraine and ask for my number. I always answer everybody. There's different people in this industry. There are people who are a little bit more gatekeeping and stuff.
Is there one thing that you notice, like with the songs you've done that have been like really big hits? Is there one thing you can say about like the artists or the songs that is always present in all of the ones that do really well? Is like luck actually a thing?
Luck is a thing. First of all, yes, luck is a thing, but we can't control that, so there's no point talking about that part of it. I would say, what it really is? It's that it's a combination of like having really, really good skill, and then having a song that, like there's what I call generic hits, and there are like hits. Like if you really want to be special and kind of like really stand out from everybody, what the best songs are the ones that you you're almost doing the generic thing, but then you do a little differentiation that's like that makes it fresh, what we call fresh. And those ones are the best. And a lot of times it happens that like big artists, their first, if you notice, like their first, second, third releases that got them huge are so unique. It's like, wow, I haven't heard that before. Like you can listen and it's like, wow, I haven't heard that before. But then as they go along and they get signed to labels and labels expect, results, then it becomes more and more generic, more and more, more and more just like milked and not authentic. And they can afford to do that. Dua Lipa can afford to do that. Billie Eilish can afford to do that. Her new album is not good. Like it's good. It's okay. It's okay, but it's nothing like it's nothing like the first album. It's nothing like it. Like when I hear it, I'm like, I've heard this. I know how they made that kick. I know how they made that snare. I know how they made that sound. I know what sample that's from. Once I get to that place where I can tell exactly how somebody produced their shit, and like, oh, this sounds like exactly like that song, or da da da, then you understand that it's been kind of like washed out. The ones that really blow up are the ones that kind of like a little bit off center. They're centered, don't like go crazy, but they're a little bit off center, and that off center just makes your ears percolate. There's something about it that just like, whoa, I haven't heard that before. Even though if you dissect it, you can say, oh, this sounds like this, you sound like that, but it's an amalgamation of different kind of like I borrowed from this and that and this and that, and then I brought my own sound into the song.
What I want you all to really know is that success leaves clues. And so this idea that you are unique, of course, is amazing. But the fact that we have to also run the same, if this is going to be a business for you, if you want to monetize what you do, if the goal is to stand on those bigger stages, you have to know what other people have done in the past that have worked. And you have to know how you can model it to your specificity of who you are.
Yeah.
So I call it solving a problem, just as an exercise. Maybe in one of the weeks we can do this together. It's kind of a fun game, but like, Bruno Mars is solving a problem of James Brown, of the Temptations, of Young Jackson 5. The Weeknd is solving the problem of Michael Jackson, more current. So you don't think that those people spent hours listening and imitating only then to bring it to their story or this song and how to work that to be
every single huge artist that has sat for, I'm sure, and I know this personally, has sat for hours and hours studying their masters, and like in art as well. We've always had masters and people learning from masters by copying, then expanding on what they copied and taking their own. But essentially, this is all like studying your masters is. It's crucial.
And I'll give you some other examples. Billie Eilish and Phineas have absolutely studied so many people, but one is Dusty Springfield. If you are or Chet Baker, if you're wondering where she got this super breathy tone, it's not so unique. Go listen to other artists.
Yeah, Fiona Apple as well.
Phineas is incredible at just pulling that. And I remember when someone then challenged me and said, but Chappell Rowan is the most unique. And I went, have you listened to Kate Bush? Have you listened?
Chappell Rowan is Kate Bush.
She's Kate Bush. She's the modern day Kate Bush.
And I would, yeah.
Even Fleetwood Mac, I was going to say, there's some elements there.
There's some elements.
So again, listening, letting it influence you, it's huge.
It's very important. Also, like, just the younger generation, like I would say the younger generation today, people who are growing up in the music business today, I think a lot of people like aren't educated enough on the past, and it works for the best as well, because like a lot of people get away with covers that people think that are original songs, but they're not, right? And then you discover, holy shit, wow, that was a song before, because everything has been done, really, in a sense.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry.
Yeah. So like everything has been done already. So you pull from that, you pull from what was done, and you differentiate yourself a little bit, and you build from that. I think that's
that's getting back to what we're doing tonight, is to know who you are.
I was just curious if there's anyone that you can say right now that's really exciting to you,
who's like on that edge of just a bit twisted, lyrically on point, sort of leading a charge?
Oh, leading a chat. I don't know. I'm really in I don't want to say any names actually. Like I think I'm really into like into the pop realm right now, and the commercial pop realm right now is a little bit, in my opinion, like a little bit watered down. And I don't really know what to answer to that, because I think in terms of songs, okay, so the songs that are so the artists, like I might hear an album from an artist, like even what's his name, Boone, Benson Boone, right? So I hear like the songs that he put out. There's that one song that was a hit, right? And the other songs were not hits, right? They were B songs, right? And like I focus on, okay, fine, that guy's not a great lyricist. Probably a bunch of people wrote that song, but then I always think like why is that song working? So to answer your questions, there's no one person. There's songs. I look at specific songs that hit in various genres, and it doesn't actually matter which genre you guys are in. Studying hit songs is you can study from your genre to a different genre. It doesn't matter. That the rule is always the same. You'll find the same results. So that's it's hard for me to answer your question in that sense, but I would say like pinpoint the songs that you like, something that hits your heart, then dissect it and see why did that hit? Why did that thing? What happens when that melody hits with the lyric, and what happens at that point that's moving me? And most likely what's moving you is what's moving a million other people, and that's why they're on Spotify, that's why they're on playlists. Why? Because with AI coming in and taking over the music industry and everything like that, the only thing that's going to be left is the human soul. Human soul, I'm telling you right now, whoever tells you that AI is going to copy you and be better than you in that one, it's going to be better than you in a lot of things. But in that one aspect, it's never going to be better than you, than a human being, in transferring feelings through words that connect to some cultural nuance. It's never going to be able to do that. Maybe in 50 years it's going to be able to do that. But I've been involved recently with many AI projects. Like I'm a programmer myself. I know how to program and I know how to work with AI very, very well. And from like I'm telling you right now, that's the one bastion that we're gonna that's the one place that humans are always gonna shine, because AI is not gonna have the cultural relevance, the nuance to that to that level where magic can happen, where songs can like shine. So lyrics.
Because when you're the artist, you're actually the motivator. You are oh my gosh, this is like a big group. This is amazing. Okay, real quick, I just want to get to everybody here. James, why are you here?
Because I love this shit.
I know, but I also ask him to be here because he's, helps me out a lot. Okay, yeah.
Well, I would be here regardless, you know that, because this is great. I love being inspired by other artists and hearing, the journeys people are on, and being challenged to always keep on top of my shit.
Yeah, it's true. Love it. Melissa, why are you here?
Why am I here? Because it always makes me better, but that's why I'm here. Yeah. That's it.
Well, so this idea of I want more is also this idea that I'm a professional, which means that you are going to keep learning forever. There's no place actually to get to. So when we say I'm here and I want to get there, the reality is if I'm really in this, then I'm going to keep learning. And the minute that I stop learning, probably you're not a real creative anymore. Creatives are constantly learning. They're also constantly leaning into what they're really good at, and they can evaluate the difference, right? Which is so great. 𝐿𝐴𝐺𝐵𝐺, welcome.
Hello. Why am I here?
Yes.
Sonny stole half my answer, but it's because it's a great answer. Yeah, man, like you need this kind of community. You need to be around this kind of energy. Lots of people do it on their own. Great. A lot of us really need that kind of like support, but also just being around people who get it.
Yeah.
So that was a big reason. And then for me, I just really needed to kind of refine myself and like what is it I'm trying to do because I'd say most of us go around like, oh yeah, I know what I want to do and I know what I'm trying to do. But when you get asked the question, okay, exactly what that is, you're like,
Well, and we're going to go through what that problem is.
Yeah.
The problem is that you actually don't know where you are. Okay, so it's not, the problem is not what you want. The problem is where you are. You're not seeing that authentic self where you are now, and you're trying to create something into the future that doesn't exist yet. We are going to get some specificity and some definition. Sunny, why are you here?
I'm here because this is the place where that gives me my plan or my structured plan for my dreams, which is that I want to be the biggest pop star. That's coming from India.
I love it.
And
I love that you put the biggest. You know, it's like let's quantify it.
And I see it, and I see it myself over there. Maybe it might take me like 3 to 4 years, maybe, but this is the place where that gives me the fuel and the path that where I want to go. This is my maps, and I love hanging out here with the people because they are having the same mindset, and I want to hang out with the same mindset people, and
100%.
that's exactly why I'm here. There are like 3 to 4 other reasons.
100%. And so when I started teaching ADI, it actually was about 13 years ago now. I was doing the math. That's how long I've been teaching it. There was a performance component. So we were just like this in person at my studio, and people would get up and perform for each other. It wasn't just a talking thing. It was talking and performing and then more talking, and everyone hung out after. And I just really wanted to run it like a dance class. Like I just felt like we need more camaraderie. And I think artists are so single focused with, you know, what do you call these? Blinders on, and you get a little lonely, you know? It's like, does anyone feel the way that I do? Andrew, why are you here?
Hi. So have a master plan of a few things. I have my hands in a lot of different things. So I start a lot of companies. I'm doing some music companies, and I have an album that I'm trying to get out the door. But artistically, my goal is, when I was growing up, I loved artists that seemed just like fearless, like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix. I'm a guitarist, so like that was, and so artistically, I would like to be that person who just can fearlessly play whatever flows through their fingers. And also I'm hoping to like have a large output for the rest of my career. So
Okay, I
that's my
love
goal.
that. So that's like legacy.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you watch the IG yesterday? Did anyone watch
yeah, I
that
did watch it.
program? So we'll talk about a little bit more in the next hour. The next hour will be more lecture style, but the bottom line is what you're describing is this fearlessness, what people appear fearlessly themselves. It's actually what we would call authenticity. And over the years, people would throw that word around, and I had to ask a lot of people, what does that mean? What does that mean to you? What does being authentic mean to you?
I think to me, being authentic is just having an essence at your core that everything permeates from, and everything that you do is in alignment with that essence, and knowing what that essence is, that seed, or whatever. You don't have to be tangible, but you, especially for a musician, being able, for me, like it's more of a feeling. So like being able to just like embody that feeling like that is you know,
I love it.
Then you can be,
because it's at that core of who you are that's radiating, permeating out into the world, and that reflection is so clear. It's like it's a mirror. Like we're not going to be chameleons. We really want to have an authentic life. And I also know that as an artist, again, myself, it was lonely, hard. It was like a roller coaster, and I actually hated it. And I got off the bus willingly. Like I was just like, this is not for me. This is actually torture, like emotional torture. I cried all the time, and I was just miserable. And then I would show up on stage, and I would be, amazing. But then I would leave going, oh my God, I don't know if they love me. And, it was just a disaster. And then I really went on this mission of personal and professional development. I still consume, like every day, an enormous amount of content for my mental health. I want to make sure that what I'm consuming is feeding my soul, and then I can guide that to the artists that I work with. And I'm honored to work with so many of you a lot, and then a lot of these new faces for the first time. So I'm really honored. I mean, talk about attracting your audience. Pops found me through TikTok. I don't have a huge following at all, right? It's not about the numbers. It's about what I am saying, what I am posting is resonating. So I'm at one to few. Those of you who are just catching up to some of my lingo, when you are working on yourself, you really want to start thinking about one to one. Your audience is a reflection of who you are. That's why when you know who you are, you can create the content that actually is a mirror to attract them. But as that builds, it eventually becomes one to few. All of a sudden, more people are seeing it. Maybe they're recommending it to friends. Maybe you're performing, and all of a sudden, that 50 people of friends and family that came out to your show is now 200, and there's a lot of strangers there. Or maybe you're sharing a bill with other artists, and here's another problem that a lot of artists do. You say yes to a show with 4 or 5 other artists, but they are not in the same lane as you. They're not telling the same stories. So their audience is not your audience, and now it's confusing. Does that make sense? So we'll call that one to few. You can monetize at one to few very, very successfully. And that's where most artists are going to stay now. I don't think the one to many is going to happen in 2025 and going forward the same way that we've seen it in the past. It's very difficult to become Taylor Swift in this climate, in this era, with no radio, no single focus, right? People are not focused on only one thing, or, turning a People magazine or Hello magazine as that place that we go to find information about you. Now it's everywhere all the time. There's no on season and off season. You guys are on season, right? There's no off season. So the who you are has to be stable. The who you are has to be real and authentic and genuine. Otherwise you're going to burn out. And when the gap between who you are off stage and the person that you are on stage, that gap is too big. Well, we've seen throughout the decades of the music industry or the acting world, when that gap is too big, people often fall into traps of drugs, alcohol, certainly self-destruction. And I just don't want to see that. I want the artists that I work with, no matter what the outcome, right? I can't promise the outcome. Honestly, if someone promises you an outcome, run out the door. Like, there just isn't one.